Morning, everyone. Yeah, a lot going on in the market. Verona, I mean, Merck, it's not really been a respiratory player. They had Singular a long time ago, but not like asthma inhalers. Yeah, 𝗕𝗏𝗏 is going to die. You know, these little fake out rallies are not, they don't concern me. Of course, they don't help my P&L, but 𝗕𝗏𝗏 ain't going anywhere. ProKidney is so weird. I don't trust this thing at all. I don't think it's time to short it, but I'm very suspicious of this data. Maybe I should short it. I don't know. It says hard to borrow. Do we dare? Do we dare? 126% fee. We dare? Short it at the top? These guys have a cell therapy for kidney disease. They won't explain how they take the cell, what they do to it, and they just inject it back into the kidney. My dude, my man, that is not how medicine works. I feel like the guy in Braveheart. Hold! Hold! Hodl! Oh, yeah. KZIA. It's another one. This is supposed to be a really good short. Already collapsed quite a bit. Fuck it, let's go. Oh, hard to borrow. 𝗥𝗢𝗙𝗢𝗔𝗥𝗡 combination shooting 50 circulating tumor cells. Bruh. Nah. IQ didn't really have news. Yeah, the deluge of SPACs doesn't forebode well, needless to say. And yeah, INQ I think eventually is going to fall apart. The question is when. You know, you gotta be willing to hang in there. Yeah, this market cap is maybe a little too small to bother with. Yeah, ARM is interesting. I'm not sure what Coatue is thinking, and I'm not really a semiconductor investor. Oh, there goes ProK. Although it's had a couple of drawdowns and then just keeps rallying. But I don't know, that data is sus to me. Everyone wants me to look at IRN. Are these guys just a miner? Are they miner trying to do AI? It looks like it. I mean, this is the hot trade right now, right? Miners are data centers to some extent, right? So I don't know why you'd want to pick on these guys. It's the bear thesis. I would like to look at Berkshire. Market's going off, but Rigetti's down. Qubit's flat. I'm liking that. INMB's down. Wrong kind of miner, Tom. Humacyte had this big rally that a woman, Nicole, was super excited. I hope she sold though. Well, converts are converts. I mean, what's the real shares outstanding? You need money to, you know, buy 2,400 Blackwells for $130 million. And they're raising money to buy even more GPUs. I mean, the demand is there. I mean, it's not a great business, you know, but thank you. It's an okay business. Oh, they've done a bunch of these oh no, they did a upsized. Is 50 hash rate a lot? I haven't kept up with the hash rate stuff. Exahashes. Forgot to bring a sweater again today. Yeah, quantum's gotten so silly that even the quantum believers don't believe it. Oh, it's out? Okay. I guess this is a good fit with them. They have a PAH drug. I was looking at Ultragenyx yesterday. It's this company, Rare, R-A-R-E. The brand names for medicine, there's basically one company that does it for every big pharma. It's really funny. I think it's called the Brand Institute. I'm not sure if it's a short. I actually tried to buy the same drug that they bought when I was in jail for osteogenesis imperfecta. Oh, MoonLake is just autoimmune? I thought they were... Okay. So it's IL-17, it's like Novartis's Cosentyx. I mean, there's a ton of those types of drugs out there. They still all sell billions though, so... Okay, it just seems like a fake thing. Yeah, MREO, exactly. I don't know if it's going to be a lot better. I mean, those little differences, pretty hard to show in some kind of double-blind trial that you're actually superior. Pretty tough. Well, it's not a readout. Yeah, the FDA EMA decision for ENVX is definitely coming soon. That's going to be another big win. D-Wave almost down. It was up 6% earlier. Jeez, this thing goes crazy, huh? QBTS is now flatter, maybe even down. Up 6%. Some of y'all were worried. I said, don't worry. ProK gap down. Wish I shorted this. got distracted by KZIA. The real win was going to be short ProK. IonQ almost red. Quantum's falling apart. I did hear a rumor that a privately held quantum company may be announcing something significant, which would not be good for these publicly traded ones. But it could also be neutral. IonQ is not down. I don't know if the privately held company is doing well and these other guys aren't. It's competitive. It's a very competitive space. Especially if it's like, okay, imagine there's 10 public quantum computing companies. Now what do you do? These stocks can't rally because there's only so much money interested in it. Congrats to NVIDIA again at 4 trillion. Yeah, we can look at Berkshire, right? But these private guys eventually will go public. Quantinuum is going to suck a lot of money out of this space. I think it depends on what the news is. I've heard a few different things. I don't think it's a Willow-like thing. But if you're IonQ, a lot of these people are like, no, IonQ is the best. You know, it's the only company worth anything. And it's like, maybe not. I did see the Taiho thing. I don't think it's relevant to Sarepta, but oh yeah, no. I break my rules all the time. I think like the problem with IonQ is there's nothing you can buy in quantum that's valuable. So they have to like, because like there's no way to actually grow a real business here. ProK can keep going down possibly. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some quantum people going to jail. Yeah, we're going to add Indian stocks. Don't worry, Bharat. Yeah, I'm testing the program as we speak. After Intelligent Investor, I would read Snowball, man. I don't know much about ARQQ. I didn't think it was like a serious thing. These are not serious people. Look at the RAM on my machine drop. 40 gigabytes of RAM a second. Poofing. Market's been out of control. 1.5 terabytes. It's a lot of RAM. It's a lot.
China.
The RAM is normally not in the terabytes. This is a very unique system built just for this thing I need. Now, I have the, this is B-top. My girl showed me this. It's cooler than H-top. 1.5 terabytes of RAM. I have the entire 1 minute history of the stock market in RAM. So that's why it's 1.5 terabytes. This is a R7 or something like that from AWS. It's around $20 an hour. Nathan, this program is a nightmare, man. The one core process runs for like a minute or two, but then it's going to be no cores. It's all disk. I should just make 2 partitions. Yeah, I was going to focus on rare. I don't think Shortcut is out. Like, the only thing they've done is show a video, right? I have a small open position on CAPR. AVXL, I'm probably going to wait a little longer. Well, if the product's ready to go, I'd love to try it. I mean, I suspect it's not going to work. Yeah, AVXL, I mean, I don't know about CAPR. I think CAPR could also dump because CAPR could get an early answer, right? The early answer could be very, very bad. It's hard to know. AVXL's timing is a little indeterminate. It's not really 100% clear when it'll happen. I barely looked at AVXL. And I don't like trading puts. I'd much rather just short. How does AVXL a short? Well, the drug doesn't work. That's a good start. Yeah, I haven't tried Shortcut. If they can show that it works, that'd be cool. Yeah, it's probably a bit of an arms race. Yes, IV and lending margin are correlated. There's no there's no manipulation. It's just the market is inefficient right now. There's nothing broken about it. You know, markets are efficient, but they don't necessarily have to be efficient today or tomorrow. You know, which is one of the biggest follies of investors, right? Is that we find an expensive stock, and that's wonderful, but we assume that it has to, you know, it's going to, you know, get arbed today because we feel like it, and that's just kind of a little stupid. You know, you should expect it to potentially even go more out of whack. I've seen the demo, but the problem with demos is anybody can record a video. I don't see why it would pop us on. CRL is a rejection. right? So I don't see how it could pop on a CRL. I mean, that's the FDA saying, no, we're not approving it. That's not good news. I don't think it could. I mean, maybe. Never say never. Yeah, I don't think there are any forces. That's a silly thing to say. I mean, the market is fair. You bring your money to the bank, you can trade whatever you want. But, you know, you got to be careful. So it reminds me of 2000 and even 2007 a little bit. Just got to be careful. Protect yourself at all times. That's the basic rule of boxing. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see Ion QQ anytime soon, but maybe. You guys are on top of everything. Between everybody here, you guys are on top of everything. But you can join Godel, and there's some really smart people there. Some people who I've worked with who are better traders than me. They're in there and happy to help you as well. Q, you know, so when you add a Q to the end of a ticker, that means it's bankrupt. So it's an old finance joke. Ha ha ha. The ENVX short on the warrants. Oh wow. So they gave out these warrants to everybody, and they just, all you have to do is exercise it. And why isn't it down? All right, let's go into it. Let's look at Cala. Start that. Calobio. It's funny. I took over Calobios years ago, so it's a funny name. Let's take a glance. I was gonna work on Ultragenics. Why not working Cal? I don't even have Cal on my list. There's too many biotech companies. CalVista. It's a tiny market cap. Normally don't care to look at these super small caps. It's like $1 in a dream. It's the old New York Lotto slang, or slogan, I should say. Yeah, only 6 million shares outstanding. Anything good happens to this stock because quadruple platinum. Yeah, actually, you're trading at cash too. Well, not exactly. Now, the important question, who are these people? What are they doing? Oh no, not mesenchymal stem cells. Oh boy. We were just looking at ProK. I can't believe I shorted this. I didn't short this. You rewind the tape, I was pantomiming Braveheart at $7, and that was the exact top. Oh! I switched to shorting this other dog, which worked as well, but it distracted me, and it's so annoying, this Kazia or whatever. You know, it also went down a lot, but... So they have Isuvius. They have a couple drugs. I wonder if they have any... I didn't see any revenue. Yeah, there's no revenue. Maybe it's KP102. KPI102 for persistent corneal epithelial defects. They have the Chase study. Where do they sell these products? Yeah, they sold them to Alcon. So that's gone. Okay, so it's all about this mesenchymal stem cells. Typically these stem cells are terrible. They never work. But if you inject them in the eye or something, maybe. And ProKidney is the same situation, right? You inject it straight in the organ. That typically is not going to help you very much anyway. Cala. You know, the biggest problem with cell replacement therapy is kind of this like mental block I have. Do I know this guy? The mental block is that unless you do something to the donor cell, there's no point in applying somebody else's donor cell. I know some rare diseases that cause this issue, so it's definitely not a tiny population like there are plenty of people to treat here, but I just don't see how it could work. Like, you see all this nonsense. Well, here's some data, most important thing. No control group is always a little nerve-wracking. I mean, you just do all you have to do is do a run-in placebo. So you give them placebo for a month, and then you silently switch them to drug, and because you don't know if the defect heals by itself, or if this is a miracle or not, and that's why you have to study the disease a little bit. Certainly intriguing. I mean, here's the manufacturing process. So expand the cell line, harvest the secretome, process it, and provide it. The problem is that whatever is in the secretome presumably the patient has it themselves, unless they have like a rare genetic disease, in which case it makes a lot more sense. But if I never understood the point of giving somebody cells when your body's full of cells. And, you know, cell therapy is best works when you actually change something in the cell. And this goes for CAPR too. So CAPR, ProKidney, all these guys. There have been a litany of, like mesoblast is a good example, but there's a litany of history where people try to chuck cells into patients. You know, companies try to chuck cells into patients and pray that they engraft and pray that they do something. And we were looking at some data the other day that for CAPR, 99% of the cells are gone. They get sequestered and they're not available for doing whatever pretend magic that they're supposed to do within maybe even minutes. But the eye is a privileged area. So it's like sort of cut off from circulation, and the topical effects can be maybe a little different. So never say never. The data is, and again, this stock is so beat up and dead that any possible success would be an instant 10x. This is the kind of stock my friend, one of my friends who runs one of the biggest hedge funds in this space likes. It's kind of a afterthought company, kind of just one good data set brings it back to life. And it doesn't have to be that the cell therapy is like some magic, even if it has, you know, a slight improvement that helps. The problem is this: you have this issue, you have a persistent non-healing issue, refractory to whatever these conventional treatments are. You have to study this illness, and we know how to do that. This is what we do. But it is a patient, slow process, of course. Not exciting for streams, but I love doing it. And you learn so much about medicine this way. I mean, you do this over and over again for 20 years. You know everything about medicine eventually. Here they're giving deceased patients some cells. Yeah, some of this is starting to come back to me. Ultraviolet radiation for corneal cross-linking. It seems like the standard is fairly effective. Platelet-rich plasma, treatment with human nerve growth factor. This is it's not a great journal, but Orphanet is a decent journal for rare diseases. I just, find the word cure in the headline is pretty neat. I don't know who makes this drug. It might be this this is the kind of thing where I would try to acquire this drug or something like that. 𝗕𝗢𝗄 is a funny little privately held Italian company. I remember this drug. I think we've tried to talk to 𝗕𝗢𝗄 at some point. It's probably super expensive. Yeah, let's how expensive is it? Observate price. 60 grand. Full 8-week course is 120K. Could go higher. Okay, here's an article I guess we've been looking for. I just noticed it's in the Saudi Journal of Ophthalmology, which maybe not perfect, but might help us. Oh, it's Relics Group now. Okay, aggressive lubrication. That is always the first line therapy. Punctal occlusion. So you have this punctal, you can do a punctal plug. The puncta is, it's like cavity in your eye. If you don't know about it, you should check it out. There is a puncta. Yeah, congrats on Nectar. I don't have my phone, so my phone is in an Uber, and I gave the phone number to my buddy, so they're gonna call him. Okay, bandage soft contact lens, pressure patching, debridement, tarsophrophy. Oh, okay. Super glue, Gorilla Glue, lid taping. Looks like there's some therapies. Autologous serum tear. Hey, this could work. Just have to study the disease carefully. There's this. This is I think what they're doing. Let me see. No, they're doing mesenchymal, not limbal. But maybe that's the same thing. I don't really know. You have to talk to some experts in this disease. Just do the whole workup. But assume this data is coming soon. They're making the case for it. And this data certainly looks good, but it doesn't have control. These patients maybe heal on their own. They heal with other Therapy, simply shutting the eye, seems to work. So there's a little bit of that. So you kind of do need a control group, I think. Let me see what their whole trial was all about. They have a name for this drug? There it is, right? Let's see the study design of this CHASE trial. There it is. It says it's still enrolling. This may not be the same one because it looks like there were 2 CHASE trials. 3 doses and a placebo. Might be like the first part of the trial or something like that. Targeted readout is this quarter, so any month now.
Don't know much about Value Investor Club other than some people write their theses there or whatever. There's a guy that just recommended the stock I shorted, so that's what I know about Value Investors Club.
Khalidi, yeah, I mean, it's 10, 15 million market caps. You can't really do much with them. Whoa. Okay. Just as we're looking for it, just as we're looking at 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃 comes out with a press release. Unbelievable. Around year end. Whew, crazy. Doomsday fish recorded for the first time in Sri Lanka. Oh, did they think they would have an interim analysis or something? I don't understand. Seemed like a nothing burger. What did I miss? Oh, they didn't study oh, okay, they did not study the study early. They thought they would. Uh-oh. I missed it. Yeah, how does it work again? Is it bone resorption? Or, I mean, obviously for Evenity, it reduces fractures quite a bit, but it depends on the kind of bone these patients have. You know, my old chief medical officer was like the expert in osteogenesis imperfecta. Yeah, rare is pretty dependent on this thing. Yeah, the collagen's already broken, right?